Hey, what's good? Your boy No Love hitting you once again. This time doing a little storytelling. Gonna go ahead and take you on a trip on this one. So getting back into doing the storytelling thing, but not so much on Instagram anymore. Trying to convert it over to YouTube. And some of you noticed lately, if you've been following me for a long time, I've been doing YouTube since 2009. But I would upload a lot of like my from the streets to the studio footage, trailers, videos, and I was doing the Homeboy rap thing. Other people's videos, and then after a while I was just kind of dead. Maybe post a couple videos in between, low riding with Tito out in San Ho,
2013 San Ho Boulevard night,
or those kinds of things. But after that, just haven't really posted much. A little bit here and there, like I said, little by little. Now you can monetize, you can actually start making a living off doing things, and I haven't been able to do this for a long time, so I finally got monetized. Now I've been able to tell the stories, the history, put it out there, and start posting my archives, a lot of my old videos that some of you guys never seen, even some of the uncut footage of some of the places that we've been to and put on DVDs, without music behind it. You kind of know the backstory, how the footage got there, or whatever. But now I want to kind of start telling stories of the past and things we've done. And me and Tito used to have the Homeboy Rap Radio podcast,
HBRR,
back around, I think it was like 2007, 2008, something like that. And we were doing a couple of, I think we did 4 of those, and it was pretty fun. We tell stories, interviews, and all that stuff. So he was kind of the guy that I would vibe with a lot off the radio stuff when we would do that. But now I don't really have anybody to do that with, so I got to do it solo. And if you follow me for a long time, I'm usually the guy behind the camera. So to be in front of the camera, it's a little harder for me now, but getting used to it. We'll see what happens. Today, I'd like to take you to homeboyrap.com. I kind of want to let you know the story behind how it started, to get a lot of people that ask about it. So the Homeboy Rap movement, it's been around for years. The Homeboy Rap started in something like the 80s. I think it's around the late 80s maybe. So guys like Dino, DJ MT, they were DJing, rapping, doing their thing back then.
Because at that time, there was only black folks rapping in town. So I was really the only Mexican, and to get the mic passed to you in a freestyle session was almost impossible. So you had to kind of earn yours, and it took me a long time. It was probably 86 when I came out, 87 rapping, where I'd actually battle folks. We were actually beatboxing at that time.
So they were dropping like their first tapes, records, vinyl, all that stuff way back then in the late 80s. Early 90s, you started seeing a little bit more of it. You'd have, a guy maybe in your city or in your area code, you might have one rapper for, the locals that are doing it. And so little by little, it started picking up. Mid to late 90s, you're getting a couple more rappers here and there. It's a little more prevalent. People are starting to convert over to getting everything on CD as opposed to tapes. You got guys starting to rap out of like the Central Valley, Fresno, all that stuff. You got guys coming out of the Bay Area, Salinas area. So starting to pick up a little bit more. You guys got youngsters like Speedy that are just starting to come up. They're starting to rap at that time. Guys like Dino and DRF, they had already been in it for years already. They had dropped so many albums by like the mid 90s. They were well established. Their first album, From the Body with Love, like that's one of like the Homeboy Rap classics right there. And so this is like what's the start of the genre right there. So Homeboy Rap is just beginning. You're getting people from Northern California who are like, we're not from LA, we're not from the East Coast, we're not them Hollywood rappers or anything like that. We're from up here. We have our own genre, but we don't really get promoted because we're not by Hollywood. So it's a little easier to get promoted when you're down there. When you're up here and places like Modesto, Oakland, San Francisco, the East Bay, Hayward, it's a little harder to get signed in a deal out here. So people are doing it underground. A lot of the black rappers made it popular to do it out the trunk. Like MC Hammer, the guy went platinum, won the first platinum rap. I believe he was the first platinum rapper, if I'm correct. And one of the guys that did it like out the trunk, selling records, tapes, CDs, that kind of thing. And that kind of became like a Bay Area thing right there, people selling CDs out the trunk. So a lot of the Chicanos and Latinos, they caught on to it and they started doing that too. They started rapping for their city, putting it down, and you got guys repping locally. And now it's getting late 90s and people are starting to do more like the gang banging thing as opposed to like the Brown Pride era, because that first era of like early 90s to mid 90s, there was a lot of Brown Pride music. You didn't get like a lot of people banging XIV or X3, anything like that. It was mainly people doing brown pride music, you know, this is for the barrio, this is for the homies, you know, that kind of stuff. Maybe somebody might drop a set in there on the under, but it really wasn't about that. It was more about like, you know, low riding, cruising, feeling good, brown pride, that kind of stuff. That late 90s, when just gangster rap is at an all-time high, people are coming out. That's when you're starting to get that hardcore banging stuff come out. Then you got GUN in the late 90s, that drop, I think it's like 99 to 2000, around there. There, you got 17 Reasons coming out. You got Northern Ghetto Boys. You got people dropping from their own areas. You're starting to see like independent rappers like Speedy coming out of Dakota. I'm starting to see rappers coming out of places like Hayward, even Tulare County. Like you got guys like Criminal, Sunny Boy Lokester. They're starting their careers out there. Baby Boy Ene. And a lot of these dudes are just banging. Like Big Osolok out of Fremont. He dropped one of the first Homeboy mixtapes, and it was just 114% gangsta, the mixtape, and it was just straight up banged out. Like that's how it was. So you see kind of like the shifting from brown pride to, all right, we're repping our stuff now, we could drop our own albums independently, we're saying what we want. Yeah, you're seeing like the shift in music, everything's starting to blow up, and people are starting to get recognized a little bit more, and you're knowing who some of these rappers are. They're dropping their first album, they're onto compilation. Guys like Woody are already like an album deep in their first solo and into their first compilation by like 99, 2000, I think, or no, actually Northern Exposure's got to be 97, 98. So yeah, you know, by the time you're getting into 2000, Y2K, these guys are well established. People know who they are. You've got heavy hitters, big labels coming up in Homeboyrap, and it's not so much Mexicans anymore, which is why it's called Homeboyrap and not like Chicano rap or anything like that, because like Homeboyrap is a mixture. Since in Northern California, you know, you got Puerto Ricans and El Salvadorians and Peruvians and Nicaraguans, Mexicans. It's a big melting pot up here. A lot of the Homeboy rappers, a lot of, you know, and some of them aren't like gangsters. They're not like North. That's why I wasn't norteñorap.com. It was like Homeboyrap, because you guys got Mr. Key and a lot of these other Latino rappers that a lot of the homeboys who are Northerners and dudes from, you know, Northern California, or maybe they're just locals, they really listen to these dudes. Like they're big fans of Mr. Key. Like Tito B, his favorite rapper was Mr. Key. So that gives you an idea that, you know, somebody doesn't have to be banging to be like a well-established artist for a lot of the rappers up here, which is why I was like, this is Homeboyrap. Like, you know, kind of encompasses everything. You got Latinos and homies, gangster banged out, and, you know, dudes singing. You know, Mad Dog, he was like a singer out of Sacramento. He like, think he was just like straight up singing. I don't recall him rapping at all, but you know, everybody had their own little flavor and how they did. You even had youngsters. I think there was like Lil Rube out of Oakland. I believe that was Gangsta Lugo's son, and he was like a kid, you know, 12, 13, 14, something like that, and dropping an album. So everybody's listening to this stuff, everybody's collecting it at the time. And you know, this is early 2000 CDs. Like I said, they're starting to drop. You got local people coming out, independent labels, heavy hitters are establishing. Black and Brown is an established label by this time. East Cocoa Records is an established record label by this time. DRF, well established. Lowdown, well established. Like a lot of these labels, these groups, they're already deep in the game, few albums deep. So by the time I'm coming into the game, 1999, 2000, I'm 19, 20, right around then. I just start making beats. Like I get a keyboard. One of the homies in the neighborhood that we used to kick it at his house, they had this guy who would come over with his keyboard, and he played the piano, and he showed us how to make beats. He would make a whole beat out in about 5 to 10 minutes, and then we're there chilling. Everybody wants to rap. I didn't really like rap, and you know, I was there trying to do it, but my voice sounded like shit. Nobody wanted to hear me, so kind of stuck to the beat thing. Got on that. I was hustling at the time. I bought my first keyboard with probably, you know, some money I made slanging out there. By this time, I'm on like East Cocoa Records. I'm talking to people right there, making beats, trying to connect. I'm meeting like Speedy and Stars the Limit and these guys. That's when I start connecting with them, because at that time, I'm also co-creating a clothing line with my homeboy, and we had No Love gear. So our big thing was, we're going to promote to these rappers. We're going to give them free shirts, so when they're performing, everybody sees that and it worked. You know, Speedy, he'd be wearing our shirts at events.
Got the man, Speedy, for No Love out.
and people would want to buy them. You know, people would see them at photo shoots or something. They see our shirts. Hey, you guys got any more of those? And that's kind of how we blew up and ended up meeting with these guys. I met with Bugsy. He would do some of my first designs with us, like when me and my boy Ant would go out there. I think I paid him like $25 an hour for time. You know, it was like that's the start of us getting those relationships and creating. I'm still doing the clothing thing, and then by about 2002, 2003, kind of, you know, getting faded out from the clothing thing, doing it, you know, less and less, because we would do it Monday through Friday, just go looking for stores, dropping stuff off, hitting accounts, picking up, you know, that kind of thing. Couple years into it, you know, I'm getting a little bored, and then I start seeing the CDs are going, you know, Homeboyrap is just popping, like everybody's buying it, and I know Speedy and them, so hey, give me some CDs, let me buy them for like $10 a pop, get them for 10, sell them for like 15 or 20, and then that started it, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. You know, I got an eBay account. It's about 2004. I just ordered my computer. After that, I'm getting onto like East Cocoa boards, because Big Oso, look, I used to go over to his house and he had a computer, and he'd show me, hey, check out these boards, and you could chat with people, and you could, you know, do this and that. And so I'm getting on there. I'm getting on all these websites, brownpride.com. I'm seeing all these chat rooms, forums, and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool, you know. Sometimes I think I got kicked out of Sickness. Nemo kicked me out probably like 2 times or something like that. I had words with him over the phone. Used to get into arguments with like Woody on there all the time, and so I was like, you know what, screw this, I'm gonna start my own stuff. So I started selling on eBay, and then I seen the money coming in for like CDs, and I noticed, man, people like these CDs that are in my collection. Like, I'm getting like $80 for these old rap CDs I used to have just sitting around. Old posters I used to get for free, I'm getting, you know, $30-$40, and I'm thinking, damn, this is the way to go. So start seeing that money coming in, and bam, that was it. I said, you know, I need to start a website. And, you know, after a while, I was selling CDs out of a box. And I remember I went to San Ho one time, and Mousy, he showed me how to sell CDs. Like, Mousy was the dude who showed you how to sell CDs. It was like him and Fat Steve. They used to go to Rasputin's, hang out in the front, sell CDs, hang out in the front of like record store, sell CDs. Hey, you listen to rap? Yeah, I listen to rap. Hey, I got my CD for sale. And they start up. Bam, that was it. So what's all that you count, Steve?
This right here is money I made out here in Tulare, right? All that right there. That's money. That's money right there. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you gonna fall off the table.
That's what we about, you know what I mean? 559, 2005. We're making money. Ain't that right, homie?
That's how we do it.
That's how we do it.
I seen that, I was like, damn, that's sick. That's a cool way to get money. And they would show me how to sell to like the stores and shit like that. So shout out to them, because they taught me how to sell CDs. Like, Mousy taught both of us, like Steve taught me, and then Mousy taught me, because I started kicking it with him, and he'd show me the hustle and how to go to like Dimples in Sacramento and these big stores and sell, you know, 100, 200, 300 units or whatever they wanted. And we'd go out there together. So they showed me, and I'm like, all right, this is cool. You know, I can get all these rapper CDs and just go to like stores and sell them. I already had connections through a lot of, you know, selling clothing to a lot of these rap stores. I pull up now, hey, I got all these Homeboyrap CDs, think you could sell them? Yeah, I'll buy them for this much. And so that was it. I remember one day I was at the flea market, and some dude came up to me. He's like, hey, you sell, what kind of CDs you got? And I got my little red box open. I'm in the middle of Berryessa flea market, and I'm like, I got Homeboyrap CDs. He's like, oh, Homeboyrap? Okay, yeah, I like Norteño rap. Yeah, that's what I like. And that was it. I came up with the name right there. Bought the website.
This is homeboyrap.com.
That was it. Like, got it cracking, started selling things, and yeah, it was like it just caught on. We had people in Japan buying, people in Germany. I mean, there was people in Europe all over there that were buying. Sold some units out in Australia. Like, it was big. It was going down. And it was a hell of a ride. And, you know, after that, we started finding out about places like the 559. I found out about the homies down there. And then I found out about the 661. You know, I'm finding out about all these hard to find areas where people got independent rappers that dropped some units, and found out about Criminal, like on, I think Criminal and Baby Boy N. I found out about them on East Cocoa. Got in contact with Baby Boy Anna on there. I sent him a message. And back then, like, these dudes did not check their messages. They didn't even have computers. You had to go to your homies a lot of time to check the board, you know, like they had an account, you would check with them, and that's how you checked your messages. And that was exactly how it happened. I met up with him through there. Hey, can you get me Criminal's number? I'll buy some units. Went down there, buy him my Baby Boy N, Sunny Boy, Criminal, PBC. I'd buy like all the dudes down there. If they were rapping, they had like legitimate albums, I was buying CDs off them. After that, started rolling. It's like now Sacramento got rappers out there. You got Northern Warriors 1 and 2. You got, there was a homie I think named Crazy from out there. There was like a bunch of other homeboy rappers that were coming out from that area. You got Mad Dog and these dudes from out there dropping CDs. So I'm picking up their stuff. I'm hearing about the 530. So, you know, the snowball's starting to roll. It's getting bigger. People are finding out that I got a website that'll do them. And it was like, I need to get them for $5 each off, you guys. Like, I know you guys get them for $1 or whatever, how much you get them, $1.25 or how much you're pressing. I need to get them for $5 so I could sell them to the stores for like $7 or $8 and sell them online for $10. I need to do that to cover my gas, the cost of traveling, all that stuff. Like, and if you got flyers, give them to me. I'm promoting, I'm passing them out, I'm doing all that stuff. So it started moving like that, and people seeing, hey, you know, he is really doing it. People are hearing about me in Washington now, Colorado. Like, I've had a lot of people say, I heard about that rapper because when you sent those flyers to the store, or you send me a promo pack or some of these things through the website. So, you know, it was starting to move. People that never heard of us before, never heard of somebody in the 559, or didn't know about, you know, some place like Tulare County or Sacramento or Woodland or Yuba City or Chico. They're starting to hear about these. And not only that, they're building collections. Like, this is starting to become a movement that, like I said, it's been going on for years, where people are collecting DRF and Lowdown and Speedy and Woody, and now they're moving on to, oh shit, there's Baby Boy N and there's Criminal and Sunny Boy, and now I can get a hold of these. So you're seeing the ball rolling. People are starting to get more established. At the time, I'd been filming, like I got my first camera, I think around 2001, maybe 2000, around there. Bought it on the streets for a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Spent maybe like $80 on it all together. And yeah, I ended up getting that. I started filming. So by then, like Bugsy, he was dropping Cali Thug in. He was supposed to. And I was watching Cali Thug, and I'm like, man, I got a lot of footage like that. And I'm thinking I could put one together too. So he inspired me to start doing that. And when I seen it was that you just take your footage, edit it, and, you know, I found out we had a homie in our neighborhood that was editing. He was one of our little homies. It was Bay Life Productions. Also said, yeah, his little homie's like 18. He's editing. He said he wants to, you know, do videos and stuff. I said, man, I got footage. Let's do it. We're shooting videos. He's editing with us. You know, everybody's starting to hear about us online. We're getting a following. So you're starting to see it go now from CDs to video. And Homeboyrap's getting online, and people are seeing videos for it, and it's out there a little bit more. We're able to put up, you know, clips of ourselves on places like MySpace and do all these things. So Homeboyrap is starting to build up. It's about 2005, 2006, 2007. You got the hyphy era coming in there. Homeboys are, you know, out there doing their, you know, go dumb and all that stuff. The ball's rolling. It's not just like cholo rap anymore. By this time, you've had like 17 Reasons was one of those where it was like the album that had you with like blacks and Latinos just coming together, uniting and dropping a united album. Because before that, it was, you know, like G-Win and them were out, but it was like super gangsters, like cholo stuff, you know, Ese Homeboy, that kind of stuff. On 17 Reasons, they're like, yeah, what's good is that's just, you know, they start talking a little bit more flavor out of like San Francisco and Oakland and these places. So that's starting to catch on. Now it's more prevalent to hear Mexicans talk like that. So like that's kind of when it started happening around that area, like 99, 2000, not 98, 99, 2000, like around there, you're hearing it more. And so, you know, the build up of Homeboyrap by 2006, 2007, it's getting big. You know, people are catching on. Oh yeah, I need that CD from my collection. It's easy to start selling CDs for $14 each on the website. I'm starting to get in connection with more rappers. By that time, I've already, you know, copped units from DRF and Woody and, you know, Black and Brown, and, you know, I'm starting to get these units out here. I'm able to sell 200 or 300 of their units that they have, or whatever they can get me. Woody was a little harder to deal with. Me and him used to butt heads all the time on prices. If you remember following from East Coco, me and him would go back and forth. Him and Fat Steve would go back and forth. But me and him were always pretty cool. Like, I talked to him about a month before he died, because we always had the issue with pricing. He wanted to sell his CDs for $9 each to stores. That was it, $9 each. And I'm like, dude, I cannot pay $9 per CD. All right, I'll give them to you for $7. I'm like, bro, that's still like, all right, let me get some units, but I'd only get maybe 20 in a long box. And that was what I'd get. But I'm just like, dude, I need to get them for $5, bro. I can get way more and I could push more. I can't do it. He's like, I can't do it. He was like really about his business. He was a smart businessman. And, shout out to him because he's one of the smartest homeboy rap businessmen I've ever met. He gave me a lot of game and insight. So, just me, two hard-headed people, can't meet in the middle. And so would buy CDs, and then after a while I was like, I can't get them from him. I just can't do it. Now, only way I'd get his CDs was when I would go to other record stores. They'd see the rare shit I have, and they're like, hey, I'll trade you some Woody. I'm like, yeah, let me get 20 or 30 of those. I'd go to another store, sell them to them for $7, and then when they'd call, Woody would call, like me and him got into it because he called the store, and they're like, no, we already got your units. He's like, got my units? How? We got him off No Love for $7. $7, like he was pissed. Think this fool called me and we got into it on the phone. I'm like, bro, I got your units because I traded for him. And, it was a big old thing. So we would really like literally get into it because of that. And by the time a month before he passed, he gave me a call and he said, hey, bro, I just want to, like, you'd always get a block call from him and you knew like that's probably Woody or something. And this fool, he called and he said, hey, I was thinking about it. All right, I can do $550. Like, we have a long conversation about whatever we had to talk about. And then he goes, look, I could do $550 on the CDs. That's as low as I can go. I can't go any lower. And I said, all right, this dude dropped that much for me. Hell yeah, let's do it. All right, man, it's all good. Let's talk in a little bit. Says, when he gets back in or whatever he's doing, he'll hit me up and then, grab a couple boxes. All right, perfect. So bam, we get off the phone. About a month later, so I end up getting a call. Like, I'm out on the road and I'm on that long road between like Woodland and Chico and all that, and I'm heading that way. I think I'm by Yuba City. I end up getting a call from Crooked and he goes, hey bro, I just got some fucked up news. Like, I heard that Woody died, bro. Like, he commits, himself or whatever. I'm like, what? Like, nah, come on. He goes, yeah, bro. Like, I got it from a credible source, too. I think he talked to Rap Bay. And, like, nah, are you serious? And he goes, yeah, bro. And I'm like, yeah, Rap Bay, like, they fuck with him tough. Like, they know Woody real good. They have a good business relationship. So if they said it, that they probably heard it straight from family or something. I'm just like, what? And couldn't believe it. And I'm tripping, like, I can't believe that. I just talked to the guy, and sure enough, ended up being true. And when I was on the road, I'm just like, I remember I went to the Underground Records over there and I'm talking to the guy and I go, man, I just heard something, and they sell a lot of his stuff. They do business with them. They're like, what? No way. And, ended up being true, but that's just, how I heard. And that's, 2007 right there. And, the Homeboy rap movement, it's still going. And, we ended up finding out about that. We lost him and, we lost Speedy, in early part of the movement, like right after he started. It's around, I think like 2002 or something around there. And, so, we lose two real big homies in the movement. And the homies are just like, damn, we keep losing everybody. And, it's kind of just they're getting, like, they don't know how to feel about it at that point. They're still collecting, doing that, but just like, damn, man, we keep losing, like, our best people out here. And then, you had the whole issue with Sir Dino, what happened with him and, the feds and all that stuff. And then he stopped rapping. So, the Homeboy rap movement's just not... It's popping, it's moving. We're getting a lot more steam behind it. A lot more people are doing it, but like the OGs behind it, we're losing them. We don't really have them there anymore. More new people are coming in, but we're losing the ones that kind of started the pillars of it. And so that's Homeboy rap movement around 2007, 2008, around there.